Greetings, my dear viewer. You're on the channel The Price of Cheating. The channel is for those who appreciate traditional family values and condemn adultery. So be sure to subscribe to the channel. Let's get started. On an autumn Saturday evening, Steve and his wife Sheila, married for 20 years, were enjoying a peaceful rest at home. Fully immersed in watching yet another loss by his team, Sheila, who was quietly flipping through a magazine, suddenly spoke. "Honey, have you ever thought about being with other women?" To which Steve replied, "Of course I have. After all, I'm a man, and the thought crosses my mind constantly, but I would never act on it. Why are you bringing this up?" Before responding, Sheila hesitated. "I just thought since our marriage is so strong, maybe it would be interesting to see what other men are like. After all, you're the only man I've ever been with, and it's been over 20 years. So why bring this up now?" She continued, "There's this man at work, Brad, who seems to be very popular with women. I've been told he's really good in bed, and it seems like he's taken an interest in me. I could never betray your trust, so I wanted to be honest with you first." "I understand. Go ahead. Do whatever you want. Seriously, you don't mind?" "Not at all. I'll take care of the paperwork, and you can begin your open exploration." "Paperwork? What kind exactly?" "Oh, divorce papers, of course. Have you completely lost your mind, thinking I'd let you be with other men? Seriously? You know, honey, you could have responded to my suggestion more kindly. Don't be so primitive, just hear me out. You need to focus here. What good would it do me to think about you being with other guys? For starters, we have 3 kids who need both a mother and a father. In the event of a divorce, you'll be responsible for significant alimony, and it will be difficult for you to see the kids regularly because I'll make things hard for you. Given that I'll likely stay home as the primary caregiver, and since we've been married for over 20 years, you'll have to provide substantial support for a long time. Plus, I'll be entitled to the house, which you'll continue to finance, and meanwhile, I'll be seeing other men. Do you see where I'm going with this? So, are you suggesting an open marriage or exploring intimacy with other men?" "Honey, I'm counting on your loyalty. If you betrayed me, I'd have no choice but to end our marriage immediately. Does that seem reasonable to you? But you had several relationships before we got together, didn't you? I think you mentioned 3 or 5, right?" "That's true, but what does that have to do with anything? I think it would only be fair if I also had relationships with 3 or 5 other men. Then we'd be even, and we could return to how things are now. It's not a bad idea, right? In reality, it would be a terrible outcome, and it's unlikely to happen." With a smug grin, Sheila responded, "You know, honey, maybe you should just go through with the divorce and see how the next 10 years turn out. To be honest, I have to agree with you. There's nothing good about divorce." "Hang on for a second while I go upstairs, grab a gun, and deal with your nonsense," he said in a sharp tone. "I can only imagine how our 3 wonderful kids would cope without you." "Wait, where are you rushing off to?" Without a word, Steve stormed past her and headed upstairs. Soon she heard the sound of him opening the safe, followed by the unmistakable click of a gun being loaded. Panic overtook Sheila, and she ran out the door. That same day, Steve contacted a lawyer and began divorce proceedings. Thanks to the home security system, Steve was able to prove that Sheila was planning to cheat on him and was pushing for an open marriage. Steve easily won full custody of their 2 younger children, while Sheila was left alone with a broken heart. This concludes the story. If you like it, then put your powerful like and subscribe to the channel.